Okay, one of those is gonna be the thumbnail. I don't know who just messaged me. Oh, my boyfriend said he misses me. Sitting on the table, and she jumped up and she got in this girl's face, the one that was in line, and she was like, oh, so you think he's cute? And the girl was like, no, chief, no, chief. She was like, he will never look at you, he will never pay any attention to you, who do you think you are? Like, she was just basically like, you ain't. Hi guys, so I'm finally going to do a mukbang. I went to the bakery right in the corner of our new place, and we're actually moving into this new house that we just literally got, and it's literally freshly painted. Like, we got to choose the colors and everything like that, so I'm so excited. We've been in the process of moving. Like, me right now sitting right like where I'm at right now, everything around me is like couches and pillows and mirrors and frames and stuff that we need to put up. So yeah, once it's all done, let me know if you guys would like to see a house tour. This place is amazing. It's like literally beautiful. We used to live right by the beach, but that house was it was beautiful, but it gave us a lot of problems, so we kind of just had to leave. But anyways, so today I'm going to do a mukbang, and I'm so excited. I've been waiting to do one of these. So we have brioche, which they eat with their granita, and they look like this. Derek keeps texting me, but he hasn't texted me all day, and now he wants to text me when I told him I'm doing a video. And it's kind of like an ice cream, but like an ice cream slash icy. It looks like that. I'm gonna dump it out. It came with a spoon, but so that you guys can see the consistency. Oh my god. That literally just looked like a whole bunch of poop. Oh my god. I'm the biggest mess of life, so just don't mind me. This is what I get for trying to show you guys. That's so bomb. It's a mess, but it's so good. So what they do is they dip their bun in the granita. So they kind of make like little ice cream sandwiches. I'm just trying to clean slash eat, okay? I also got little cheese balls, which came in like this little platter. They pack their stuff so cute to like the takeaway. This bakery is like literally the best. So I got these. These are filled, these 4 darker ones are filled with meat, and then these 4 lighter ones are filled with mozzarella cheese. Let's put all of this down here. I'm so excited. And then I got some water because I'm thirsty. I forgot to buy water at the store yesterday, so I've been thirsty all day. Me and Simba have been so thirsty. So for these little balls, I'm going to be eating them with sriracha mayo, and I need to eat everything with something spicy. So yeah, I think that's weird, and it is what it is. I just have to eat everything with something spicy. So I've been thinking about what I'm going to be talking about during this video, and it's kind of giving me anxiety because I feel like I just don't really have a lot of stories, but I do. I just can't really think of any. So what I thought would be fun to talk about was like boot camp stories that I thought were like crazy. I mean, when you're there at the moment, you don't really think that things are weird, but then when you leave, I'm out of breath as hell. Like, all I did was go to the store. I think I want some of this first. Give me a second, okay, to just... This may look disgusting, but I promise you it tastes like heaven. So the flavors that I got, by the way, It's chocolate and pistachio. So good. I was thinking of like boot camp stories. So I was trying to think of all the stories or all the weird things that happened while I was there. Mind you, everything was weird because you don't have your phone. People aren't really like, the opposite sexes aren't allowed to like be near each other or talk to each other. So everyone's kind of like out of their element. So the one thing that I do remember was, it was literally like, I don't want to say like jail, but what you would imagine like jail to be, I guess, at night. Like the girls would sit like at the end of their racks and just braid their hair. Or like the girls that wanted to practice like their sit-ups and stuff would be like at the end of their rack doing sit-ups. You know what I mean? It was just weird. So after a week that we had probably been there, I remember I got assigned the job as yeoman because my chief saw my handwriting. And he was like, where did you work before here? And I was like, at the Hilton. And he was like, okay, you're a yeoman. And I was like, okay. Like at the time, I didn't really know what that meant or what that was or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. So I became the new yeoman. And I remember the first, I think the first day of the second week, we went to get like our bank account set up for, you know, our checks that were going to be coming in. And you're not allowed to talk in that classroom, like the lady said, you know, clearly no one talk. If I do catch someone talking, you know, we'll send you out of the room and you'll have to deal with your RDCs. So I remember her saying that. And then, but I was just like I wasn't really paying attention. So she said that, and the guy sitting next to me, I remember him asking me what my name was. And I didn't want to be rude, you know. So I was like, oh, my name is Tiffanny. Because at the time, you know, it was like the first week. So why would I be like, oh, my name's Yovera? But that's what you have to do. So yeah, I was wrong, but it was so good. I was wrong for saying my first name, but at that time I didn't really know. It was like our first week there. I was like, my name's Tiffanny. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, guess my name. And I was like, I had seen his name on the folder. So I was like, your name is, and I'm not going to say the name, but I was like, your name is this. And he was like, how do you know that? And I was like, I just guessed. And at this point, the lady had like caught us talking, and she was like, you guys are talking? Okay. She was like, you get up and go outside. And she pointed to me. So I was like, oh my God. So in my head, I was like, should I just go outside and pretend like I'm just using the bathroom and then walk back in and be like, yeah, you know, they said it was okay. But in my head, I was like, that could either go really good and I could be smooth about it, or that could go really bad and they could be like, oh, so, you know, you were lying or whatever. So I was like, whatever, let me just go out there and pretend like it's all cool. And if they ask me what's going on, then I'll tell them. So I went out there. And I remember they were all sitting like in a triangle. It was like my 3 RDCs. And my chief was like, what are you doing out here? And I was like, well, you know, they kind of told me to come out here to talk to you guys. And he was like, why? I was like, because I was talking. And he was like, as if like talking was a big deal, you know what I mean? But in there, they make everything a huge deal. He was like, oh, you were talking. Who were you talking to? I was like, no one. he was like, so you were talking to yourself? And I was like, yes. He was like, oh, you were talking to yourself. He was like, well, if you don't tell me who you were talking to, you're gonna get in way more trouble than you would if you just told me, like, you guys are gonna be fine. He was like, I just want to know. I was like, oh, okay, well, I was talking to this person. And I know at that point I was like, damn, like, I shouldn't have said anything. Like, they wouldn't have done anything to me, you know? Like, now I look back and I'm like, I should have, like, just pretended like I was going to the bathroom and then just walked back in, like, I don't know, like something was gonna happen, you know? So I was like, damn, I shouldn't have said anything. But I did, and I snitched, whatever. So they called that person out, and they were like, hey, so, you know, she said that you guys were having a conversation, and they were like, we want to know what you guys were talking about. And I was like, oh my God. So he was like, oh, well, and he called me by my first name. He was like, well, Tiffany was just asking me. And I was like, and he was like, excuse me? My chief was like, what did you just call her? And he was like, Tiffany, chief. And I was like, ah. If you know about the military, and you know how they are in boot camp, you know that calling each other by first name is a big no. It's unprofessional. It's just a no. So my chief was like, and he was like, so, he was like, that's not what you call her. So what do you call her? And I think the dude caught on fast, like he caught on quick, and he was like, oh, her name is Seaman Recruit, chief. I was like holding back my laugh. I really was, because I was like, holy. They were asking who's, I don't know, I said something. I was like, they called out my name, and you know, he was like, oh, you know, what's your first name or something like that. Like, he was just curious. We weren't talking. He was like, all right, when we get back, you two are going to report to me. And I was like, okay. We went back in the classroom, pretended like nothing had went on. And the whole time I was literally so nervous. I was sweating. I was like, holy, like, I don't know what is going to happen to me. And I had seen them beat kids before, as in not like beat them, but you guys know, like, they make you like do workouts and stuff like that, but like they can go on forever. So I was like, oh my God, he is going to like mess with us like bad. So we went back to our what did you call them, our ship or whatever. I just bit my lip really hard. And we were in our compartment, and you know, I kind of thought he had forgot, and I was acting like he had forgot. So I was like, like going about my day, and I hear, yo man, like that's what he would call me. He would like, he was screaming like, yo man, and I was like, oh my God, he didn't forget. So everyone, okay, so this is how I remember it. I don't know if I was being like dramatic at the time, or if it just looked like more dramatic to me. Let me take this bite before it melts. I remember everyone having everyone in a circle. Like, if there was going to be a main attraction right in the middle. So everyone was standing around in a circle. And he already had the guy that had asked me for my name right in the middle, like at attention. And he called me, and he was like, get in the middle, like right next to him. And I was like, so I feel like in my head everyone was like ready for a show, like they were ready to see him just like destroy us. And we were both standing in the middle, and he was like, so you guys want to be on first name basis? And we were like, no chief, like no chief. And he was like, all right. And then he just started like beating us in terms. I mean, he just started making us work out. He working us out like give me 10 push-ups and count them out. So we would have to be like 1 chief, 2 chief, 3 chief, 4. And he went in on us like for, I'm not even joking, probably an hour. I was sweaty. It was the first time that they had dropped me. And I remember just thinking like, okay, just do it. Like, don't embarrass yourself because everyone's watching. So don't be acting like you can't do a push-up. Don't act like you're tired. Try not to get sweaty. But I was so sweaty. I remember I was trying so hard because I was like, don't embarrass yourself in front of all these people. They're all watching. Like, just get it over with. And I did the whole hour. And usually, like, people would just give out. But me and him actually did the whole hour. And he was like, all right, you guys go to the head and get, like, cleaned up or whatever. And he was like, I don't want to hear you guys on first name basis ever again. And I don't want, you guys shouldn't even be talking to each other. And I was like, and I did feel really bad because I feel like I did snitch on him when we weren't even doing anything, you know. But they wanted to set an example for everyone else. So I mean, I get that. You guys are probably like, ew, that looks so gross. It's so good. It's like a typical Sicilian thing. Because I thought it was gross too. And then they were like, no, try. Like, it's what we eat for breakfast during the summer. And I was like, I could honestly eat granita every day. I say granita like I don't speak Spanish. Granita. So good. So now let's go into another thing that like I thought was crazy that happened. And it didn't happen to me, but I was there for it. And I was just like, so we had this chief, and I'm not going to say the name because the Navy's small, but he was a good looking chief. He was handsome. And, you know, us, like the girl division, the guys in the other division weren't looking too cute. I mean, you know, shaved heads, and the girls were always like, oh my god, he's so cute, he's so cute. And if you were in my division and you're watching this, you know who I'm talking about. But I remember one day we were standing in a height line, which is, you know, the line that we get in before we go to lunch and stuff like that. We were standing in that line and he walked in, and there was a female chief in our compartment. She was just chilling in there. She wasn't really like anything to do with us, but she was kind of just like chilling in there. And I remember the girl in front of me had made a comment about our male chief, and she didn't say it. It wasn't meant to be heard. I think she whispered it, but that female chief, she heard. And I remember she jumped up so quick. She was sitting on the table and she jumped up and she got in this girl's face, the one that was in line. And she was like, oh, so you think he's cute? And the girl was like, no, chief, no, chief. She was like, he will never look at you. He will never pay any attention to you. Who do you think you are? Like, she was just basically like, you ain't. It was so embarrassing though, because to have a female chief tell you that in your face in front of the guy you were talking about, which is your chief, and then all the other girls lined up, they were just like, and she was just like she didn't know what to do. And I was like, oh, like I would just die like right there. So my camera died, and then I refilmed like how I was gonna end the video, and then I realized that my mic was off. So yeah, I'm really frustrated right now. There's obviously way more stories that I can think of, but it's just so many. Every day was like something crazy or something just ridiculous would happen. Like nothing that's a big deal like in real life, but there everything's dramatized to like the most full extent. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Leave me any suggestions of any videos you guys would like to see. As I said, we are still moving in, so right now everything's everywhere. I'm gonna try to organize and buy a few things that we are missing, and then maybe I'll do a house tour. I do want to set up my beauty room for sure before I film that, so hopefully really soon. Just let me know down below what you would like to see, and I'll try to record as soon as I can.